just bought 32 graphics cards for $120 in a massive GPU lot on eBay with the plan to see if buying lots like this would even be worth it. So over the past month, I tested every single card to see if they would even post. Before we go into the testing though, I do want to run over the condition of these cards, as many of them were honestly in some really rough shape. Either they had damaged coolers or missing componentry from the back of their PCB, or some of them were even completely destroyed, like this card from MSI that looks like it possibly got ran over by a car. So now going into the testing, I honestly wasn't expecting too much, but after running all 32 cards, we had 9 cards that ended up posting. During this testing, we did have one exciting moment that I did want to share, where this GTX 1060 from EVGA combusted on startup, which after doing some diagnostic work, found to be a result of an issue with a failed MOSFET. Of the 9 cards that actually worked, we had a Radeon HD 4850 X2, a GTX 670 from Gigabyte, a GTX 1050 Ti from ASUS, a Radeon HD 6850 from SFX, an RX 550 from MSI, a GTX 760 from EVGA, a GTX 780 Ti Founders Edition, and a GTX 970 from MSI. Although the 4850 X2 wasn't working properly, as it had vertical artifacts, and after I finally got into Windows and tried to load the driver, I ended up just getting this fuzzy screen that was just caused by more artifacting. So this card wasn't really stable. Another card that I also had an issue with was this GTX 670 that posted, but the card wasn't being properly recognized in Windows, despite a few driver resets, and I really think I'm going to probably have to reflash the VBIOS on this card to actually get it up and working. One of the best finds of the entire lot though, I believe, was this GTX 970 100 million edition from MSI, which although the card worked, it was in pretty rough shape with the cooler being smashed in to the point where only one fan was working. So of the entire lot, there were about 6 or 7 cards that were stable enough to be possibly used in the system. So that's less than 1/4 of all the cards in the lot that could be used right away. Now going back to my original question of trying to figure out if it would be even worth it to buy one of these lots, well, for about $200 after tax and shipping, I would say probably for the average person, no. As most of these cards didn't really have a ton of value being broken, as a lot of them were older or just didn't make sense to be fixed. And the ones that did work, although maybe they could be resold for about the same price or so, I can't really give my recommendation, as it's very risky and likely you won't get too lucky, as most of the time when you buy these lots, they're too good to be true. And that's what I've heard from other people talking to others that have bought these. So unless you really want the experience or want to just try to repair each card, I would look probably elsewhere. Probably either look to buy something used or possibly even new at the $200 price point. Used, you can buy a bunch of cheaper cards if you want to just play with componentry, or you can buy something newer in the last couple of generations used for about $200 as well. Many people are going to ask where I actually bought this. So I bought it on eBay from a reseller called FC Management, and they seem to have a ton of these lots for sale. So if you want to try your luck and check them out, you can check them out in the link in the video description. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey, give this video a like and subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys in the next one.